2020 is finally finished, and now it's time to bring in 2021 with a bang, with a blast. Today, I have a great group of people joining me live, standing by live on the StreamYard, and we hope you can join us to bring in the new year as well on the best note possible and turn around that dreaded 2020 into an amazing 2021. So stick around for all of that and much, much more that's coming right live from Northern California. Welcome to Navigating the Modern World with Coach Eli. And if this is your first time here, and most importantly, you are open to suggestions and change, please consider subscribing and then banging that bell so that way you won't miss a single thing when it comes to getting a better grip on your life. That's right. I am here and we are here. I've got a great group of people that I collaborate with. We are all here to help each and every one of you get the best possible grips on your lives so that way you can all accomplish whatever it is that your heart or hearts desire. And that's what we're going to be focusing on completely in 2021. We're going to get rid of all the hate. We're going to get rid of all the negativity. We're going to help you folks. I'm going to help you folks along with my great group of collaborators, primarily my moderators out here on YouTube that also run a YouTube channel. And we're going to turn things around. We're going to help you folks better deal with trolls and haters and any other distractions or anything else that's preventing you from accomplishing your greatness, because I know each and every one of you is great and unique in your own special ways. And, you know, most of the time, it's not even you that's holding yourself back. It's other people that are trying to hold you back. And you know what? If we stick together and we learn how to become stronger and better deal with all these distractions, we can all accomplish more together. Like I keep talking about the team acronym, together, everyone accomplishes more, or together, everybody accomplishes more. Now, before I continue here, I want to make sure that the notification has gone out. It has gone out on YouTube. And I also want to make sure that we're rolling fine on Facebook. So just give me 1 second here. All right. Let's check it out. Greatness, because I know I'm on Facebook. Yes, we're rolling live on Facebook and we're rolling live on YouTube. It's all good. It's all good. Now, before I bring on some of my moderators and other people on the StreamYard, I'm going to do a little monologue here. In case you're wondering what happened to the show yesterday and you didn't see the live stream I ended up doing late last night, give me 1 second here. I'm just waiting to check the YouTube back end. Give me just 1 second here. Sorry, folks. One-man show. One of these days, I will have a producer and other people helping me run this. Okay. We're looking good everywhere now. Okay. So in case you missed my live stream I did yesterday in lieu of the New Year's Eve with Coach Eli stream I was going to do, I had some issues integrating StreamYard into OBS. And it took some time to resolve that. I have resolved that issue, and that's why we're doing the show today. So just in case you missed that stream, I did broadcast it live on Facebook and YouTube, but I actually removed it from Facebook because the majority of the show after the first part that was more so relevant for Facebook and YouTube was only relevant for YouTube. I was discussing some issues that myself and some others have been having with trolls and haters that really don't apply to YouTube. That really don't apply to Facebook, which is what I'm trying to say. And Although there are some trolls on Facebook, it's different, and it's not the same as it is on YouTube. On YouTube, there are a lot more anonymous people than on Facebook. On Facebook, you have to go through an extensive verification process, and you have to be your real self. So people are less likely to troll on Facebook. I'm not saying it doesn't happen on Facebook, but it's much easier and happens more often on YouTube. So I removed that stream from Facebook. But if you're on Facebook and you want to watch that stream, you can come over to YouTube. My YouTube link is in the description section of the Facebook live stream, youtube.com/C/A Grip on Life. You can come on over to YouTube, come on through the app on your phone or on your laptop or desktop. Make sure that you're logged into your YouTube/Google account. Subscribe to my channel, and then tap the bell, select all notifications, and that way you can join us on the YouTube side of things. And just so you folks know, Facebook video's gotten a lot better, but the YouTube live streams are of much better quality. On Facebook, they only allow you to broadcast at a maximum of 720p, and the Facebook quality of video is okay, but it's not as crisp and clear as it is on the YouTube side of things. If you were to pop on over to YouTube right now or watch the replay on YouTube, you get to watch it in full high quality 1080p HD. But hey, it's good enough on Facebook, and I'm simulcasting out there, as I have been doing so for the past week or so, and will continue to do so because I really want to reach my former in-person audience that I used to network in person with, and it's been working quite well. Now, before I bring on the people on the panel, I do want to make people aware on the Facebook side. If you do want to join us live on the air for a little bit today and join us live on the StreamYard panel, I will open that up to you folks. You could pop on in for a few minutes, or you could stay on for as long as you'd like. You can talk about your 2021. You can talk a little bit about your business and what you do. You can talk about whatever you want to talk about. Let's hang out and let's have a good time, and let's, forget about that dreaded 2020 year that just finished and bring in 2021 on the most positive note possible. So if you would like to join me and the rest of the people live on the air and you're on Facebook, please make me aware in the Facebook comment chat section. And I will send you a private message on Facebook with the StreamYard link. Now, if you've been on StreamYard before, you know how that works. If you're new to StreamYard, it is pretty simple. All you do is you click on that link. You can do it from your laptop or desktop or even your smartphone or mobile device. If you come on through your mobile device, you're going to be coming on through a browser on your mobile device. There's no app for StreamYard. If you're on your iPhone, though, you have to use the Safari browser. So if you have any other browser on the iPhone, that's your default browser, and you click on that link, it's going to ask you to, copy that link and then paste it into Safari. And that way you can join the StreamYard panel live through Safari on your iPhone. If you're on an Android device, I believe all browsers work, but on the iPhone, it's only the Safari browser. Hopefully they'll change that soon. You will be required to create a free account on StreamYard to join the panel. And then you can either come on with video and audio, or you can turn off your video and upload an image of yourself to use to display on the show. That's totally up to you how you want to do that. It'd be great to see as many people on video, but that's totally up to you. So if you want to come on the show live through the Facebook side, please go ahead and do so. On the YouTube side of things, because I've had some issues with trolls and haters, I've locked down my YouTube chat to members only. Moderators are obviously free. So I'm only going to be bringing on people that I've gotten to know, like, and trust from the YouTube side, primarily my moderators. So to the moderators, I've sent the link behind the scenes through the private Hangout moderator chat. Please just pop on in if you can, and then we'll get you on as soon as possible. All right, so let's go ahead and bring on our very special guest. So I'm going to go ahead and and switch things over to the quad screen over here. You're going to see me here on the bottom, and you're going to see the StreamYard panel up on top. Let's go ahead and bring in our very special guests, the first two people that are popping in. Mutt Nuts World from the Mutt Nuts World channel and Phoenix Fire from the Phoenix Fire channel. Ladies, I'm going to give you a big round of applause. Welcome to the show. Hey, Mutt. Hello, Mutt. How are you doing?
It's a rainy day, but I'm doing good.
It's a rainy day, but you're doing good. That's great to hear. Thank you so much for being here. Phoenix Fire, are you there? Can you hear us?
I can hear you.
How you doing? Welcome to the show.
I'm doing great.
Awesome. Thank you so much for being here. So, ladies, we're going to start off with you, and hopefully we'll get some other people joining us as well. I know I've made Firewolf Studios, aka Chris, and Furious Reactor Gaming, aka Well Aware, and Queen Helen Casey may pop on. Alex the Beer Master. We have DC the Purple Diva. There are many other people that may be popping on, but if not, hey, we'll just go the three of us, and we've got plenty to talk about, right, ladies? Right, Mutt?
Yeah.
And Phoenix Fire, there's a lot to talk about. We just met you yesterday, but there's already a lot to talk about, right?
I'm just glad to have that crap year behind us.
Yeah, you're telling me. So let's just go ahead and do this. We'll start off with you first, Mutt. How have things been going for you? I know 2020 was an interesting year. You experienced a bunch of things in your personal life
2020 was a crap
your professional
show.
life. Huh?
2020 was a crap show. That's all I got to say about 2020.
Okay, you wanna share a little bit so people can relate to it and maybe learn something from it.
It went from starting that a few of my live streams I would have done in 2020 totally got wiped out, canceled. I would have been going live when I was on vacation. That got canceled. Then events in my town I would have done live from, except thank God we did get our fireworks show, so I was able to do that, and everybody enjoyed those. But everything, and then just things snowballed from there, and I kind of got derailed, and my channel kind of went downhill. But new year, I'm going to bring it back up.
Wow. Yeah, it's been crazy, huh?
Crazy is an understatement.
Crazy is an understatement. Okay. So you've also you've experienced some other things personally along with professionally. Mutt, before oh, you cracked me up. Before we
can of worms.
Right. Well, you know me, Mutt. I like to get down to business because we're not going to learn unless we, share our experiences, because people are going through these things, right? The more we talk about, what we're experiencing personally, the more we're going to be able to relate to other people and or relate with other people and help them out too, right? So I know you had, and you don't have to get into too much detail, Mutt. I know, and you've gone public on it anyway. So, but you've been having some interesting experiences with the men you've been dating, just like I've been having interesting experiences with the women I've tried to date. Let me tell you, this crazy modern dating world's unlike anything I've seen. I'm a good guy, I'm a confident good guy, but I'm still a bit old school, right? I'm trying to find a woman that will allow me to be the masculine man I was made to be, and she could be a feminine woman. But it seems like nowadays women want to wear the pants, Mutt. And I got to tell you, that doesn't work for me. But go ahead.
Yeah, I mean, it's one thing for a woman to take charge and do a few things, but it still needs to be a relationship should be, I say 50-50 most of the time. But, even if it's what, 60, 70 or whatever, But some guys just want to be little whiny babies.
Yes. I like to call them female dogs because yeah, I know we're trying to keep this advertiser friendly. What's that?
They don't even deserve that title.
Wow, they're worse than little whiny female dogs.
I can't say what I really want to call them, but
Yeah, yeah. If you say that, you're thinking that the YouTube gods are not going to like that, huh, Mutt?
No, they won't.
Well, I appreciate
nothing but a child of God.
Well, I appreciate the respect you have for the channel, folks. I am a monetized channel on YouTube, and we not only have to adhere to community guidelines and copyright guidelines, but we have also ad-friendly guidelines on top of that to keep our videos monetized and not getting that dreaded, yellow icon. Not suitable.
Or even if we're not monetized, we still need to keep it advertiser friendly so that we still don't get guideline strikes.
No, that's true too. Or if you qualify in the future to get monetized, they're going to review your channel to see if you've been ad friendly even before you get monetized. You have to prepare for that. You know what I'm saying? So yeah, you've had some interesting experiences with the wonderful men in our world today, and I've had some interesting experiences with the wonderful women, and we'll talk more about that. Go ahead. Huh?
Especially the last one.
Yeah, and we'll get more into that as the show goes on. But let me do this. Let me go ahead and get to Phoenix Fire here. Hello, Phoenix Fire. How you doing? Welcome to the show. Thank you so much for being here.
I'm doing great. Thank you for having me.
Oh, well, yeah, you're very welcome. You're very welcome. We actually met you yesterday through your friend's channel, Rosie, right? And
yes, we did.
And it was very interesting. Firewolf Studios, Chris, made my moderator group on Hangouts that you're now a part of, the private moderator chat on Hangouts, made us aware of that stream. And I so happened to have some free time, and I popped on over there, and I'm glad I did. I met Rosie, I met you. We talked about a bunch of things. We connected, and now I made you ladies moderators, and then you decided to become a channel member yesterday. I appreciate that. You didn't have to do that, but I thank you personally for that. Much appreciated. But to start things off with you, what was really interesting to me is that you've had a similar experience with trolls and haters like I have had. And it almost got to the point you mentioned in the chat of Rosie's stream yesterday. It almost got to the point of where you took your life over that. Are you okay to discuss that? Because I think it's very important that we share this with people so we can help them, not do that to themselves and not, get to that point where they feel like doing that or actually do that, because there are some YouTubers that have done that, and it breaks my heart. So what are your thoughts about that? Share with us, what got you to that level? What was going on?
Well, what got me to that level was every time I would go live, somebody would come in and start insulting me, which at first I didn't let it bother me. I thought, whatever, doesn't matter. But then it got to the point where they were calling me the N-word. They were telling me that I'm retarded, that I'm stupid, that no guy will ever want me. And basically, and then they would take my videos and clip them, and they created numerous hate channels.
Mm-hmm.
And it got to the point where my life was threatened on numerous occasions.
Yeah, I've been through the same thing for the last 3.5 to almost 4 years between a former channel I used to run, and then I shut that channel down because I had a girlfriend back then, and part of the reason why my relationship didn't work with my ex was because of these YouTube trolls. I didn't know how to handle them. Like, I'm 47 years old. I have had a lot of life experience, and I know how to handle myself outside of YouTube. But no matter how strong you are outside of YouTube or any other social media platform, YouTube is unlike anything you will ever experience. And you don't realize that and learn how to deal with it until you go through what we went through. So on one hand, like, I'm not happy that, those things happened to me or have happened to other people. But on the other hand, it's been a learning experience, right? Like, what are your thoughts about that, Phoenix Fire? Has it been a learning experience? Because we'll get to you, because I'm sure you have some aspects to discuss regarding this. But Phoenix Fire, how much of a learning experience has it been for you?
It has been a big learning experience for me because like I said, I never really had very many friends. I never really had anyone I could reach out to and say, "Hey, this is what's happening. I don't know what to do." And I met my good friends, Jeremy, on another social media app, and at that point, we exchanged numbers to talk. And he was a minister, which I didn't know that. And so we talked for almost 3 years. And the night that I was about to end my life, he called me. Before I did anything, he called me. And he said, "Well, we're going to talk about this. Whatever you're going to do, sit down, let's talk." So we talked for hours. He stayed up all night with me. He stayed on video chat with me all night. And anytime I got nervous or scared, he'd wake himself up and he would keep telling me, "You're okay. Whatever it is, we'll talk about it." And it was nice having that person. And I think that if I hadn't had someone to reach out to, then I probably would not be here, because like I said, I didn't have very many friends, and people really did not like me very much. I was pretty much invisible to a lot of people. And I know that there are kids, that feel like that in school. I mean, there are kids that don't even get friends to sit with at lunch, or they get picked last, during PE or recess. And I was one of those kids. And so I think what I got me to that point was because it reminded me of how lonely I felt when I was in middle school and high school. And I didn't like feeling like that. But as a learning experience, I've learned a lot by talking to that one person, and now I've got a few new friends, and I've talked to them about these things. I've become more aware that it's not my fault that they're doing this. It's not my fault that the trolls and haters come at me. It's just because they're bored. It's not nothing to do with me personally. It's because they're bored and they want something to do. It's nothing against me personally, because they don't know me. They've never met me. So anyone who's going through that, just know that it does get better, and there is always going to be someone out there for you to listen and to be that encouragement for you. Whether it's me, Eli, or any one of the other friends, there's always going to be someone to listen. You just have to be. Don't feel ashamed to reach out, because if you don't, it's going to make it harder for you. It's going to make it harder for you. But the more you reach out, the more you speak up and give yourself a voice, the better it's going to get.
Right. Now, Phoenix Fire, real quick here. We have plenty of time to talk about everything. You mentioned that, the trolls are doing it because they're bored. And that is a part of the reason, in my opinion. I think it goes a lot deeper than that. And I'm sure you'll probably agree. The trolls, what they're doing is they're projecting their own insecurities onto people like you. The only reason why trolls come at you and say those nasty things they've said is because they're unhappy within themselves. Now, the majority of trolls that I've seen, because trolls are on every social media platform, but YouTube's had the biggest problem with it because of the way that Google has, allowed people to create multiple accounts, which, everyone knows Google has owned YouTube for the longest time, and you have to have a Google account to log into your YouTube channel, right? But it's been so easy to create Google accounts in the past. These, people out there, primarily more so men do it. There are some female trolls, but it's more so men. And they create hundreds of accounts, and then they start to re-upload your videos, and they start to do this and that. And they do it because they're so unhappy and miserable within themselves that in order for them to feel good, they got to find someone they can get to and get a reaction from just so they can feel better. It's a projection of their own insecurities. And once you understand that, now I understood that initially when I came out here on YouTube, 4 years ago on my main channel. I mean, I've been on YouTube since it came out, but my first real channel as a real creator started 4 years ago. And then I shut it down 2 years later, and I came back with this channel, and I've been back ever since. But what I was going to say is that with these trolls and haters, again, they don't love themselves. They're unhappy within themselves. They're just trying to kick you down to bring you to their level so they can feel better. And it's really sad because a lot of them are grown men in their 20s, 30s, 40s, some in their 50s. And before I get your thoughts on this, and then Mutt will get to you in a second, before I get your thoughts on this Phoenix Fire, like for me, I'm 47 years old. Now, am I capable of being a troll? I think anybody is. I've gone out there and said, look, I've learned so much, and I'm a tech expert as well, that if I wanted to troll the poop out of anyone, let's just say poop so I can keep this advertising-friendly YouTube. I'd rather say the S word, but you know how that goes, right? And if you say it occasionally, they don't care, but we're trying to minimize it as much as possible, right? Trying to be good here. I could be the biggest super troll on the planet. I could troll anyone. You never know who I am. I'd use a virtual private network VPN, and I could do it, right? I've got a fiber line, 1,000 up, 1,000 down, a good computer. But see, it's not in my head and heart to do that because I'm happy within myself. As a man, I'm happy within myself regardless of what happens to me. Whether I'm with a woman or she breaks up with me or whatever, right? Does it suck to go through things? Sure. But as a man, a real man's going to say, okay, it just wasn't meant to be. Take some time, get over it, work on yourself, and don't take it out on other people. Don't project insecurities onto other people. And another thing, it's not the most masculine thing in the world for men to have insecurities. For women, it's more so normal because you ladies are emotional beings. Biologically, that's how you were made to be. But for men that are behaving this way on YouTube, in my opinion, and it should be a fact biologically, they're insecure guys that are projecting their insecurities. So if you look at it from that standpoint, then you start to realize that these people really don't mean what they're saying to me. They're not even really talking about me. They're talking about themselves. Does that make sense to you, Phoenix Fire? Did you start to realize that after a while?
After a while, I did. One of the things that really made me think about that was someone once said to me that I'm trailer trash, which I know for sure that was not true because I did not grow up in a trailer, and so I asked myself, why don't I let it get to me? If they're that bold to say that behind the computer, would they ever be that bold to say it to my face? The answer would be no. They'd be chicken to say it to my face. Mm-hmm. And the fact that I kept thinking about more and more, I'm like, you know what? This is not about me. This is not about me as a person. It's about them hating, or not hating, but not being happy with their lives because something has made them so miserable that they want others to feel just as bad as they do.
Yep, you're absolutely right, Phoenix Fire. And Phoenix Fire, have you ever seen the movie 8 Mile, the story of Eminem?
Yes, I have.
Okay, and Mutt says good movie. Let me say this. Unfortunately, I'll do a little rendition, but I'm going to have to censor out the F words, even though I don't think YouTube would do anything. They allow a little bit of it in the right context, but I'm still going to try to be good. Eminem lived in a trailer with his mom. Okay, now. Don't ever let anyone call you or anyone trailer trash. And if they do, even if you lived in a trailer, so what? Some people aren't as fortunate to have, the most glamorous things. That doesn't make you a bad person. That doesn't define who you are. What defines who you are is what you make out of yourself, right? But look what Eminem did. Okay, he was he still is a white rapper living in Detroit, and rap back then was more so known as an African American type of culture, right? He stepped into the ring with the other, African American guys, black guys, and he went in there to battle rap. He beat the first two guys, and then he was up against the defending champion Papa Doc, and Papa Doc wins the coin toss. The coin toss. I said it backwards. See, I said it. See? Papa Doc wins the coin toss, right? And he says, "Let that chump go first," right? That was the biggest mistake Papa Doc made because Eminem, B Rabbit in the movie said, I am white. I am an effing bum. I do live in a trailer with my mom. My boy Future isn't Uncle Tom. I do got a dumb friend named Cheddar Bob who shoots himself in his leg with his own gun. I did get chumped by all 6 of you chumps. And Wink did F my girl, right? I'm still standing here saying F the free world, right? So let me tell you something. When I first saw that movie, that's one of the most inspirational moments in history. And next thing you know, so I learned a piece from that. That the piece I took away from that rap was that, you know what? If you're just open and honest with people, if people are going to come and criticize you, let them criticize you about anything, right? Come out and basically tell them what they're going to say about you before they say it, and then shut them up, right? And that's exactly what B Rabbit, aka Eminem, in the movie 8 Mile did. Next thing you know, Papa Doc, what you gonna do? What you gonna do? And then the music starts playing. Bam, and then Papa Doc's like, yo, I got, and in his head, he's like, I got nothing. He took everything away from me, right?
Right.
He stole my thunder, right? Now, Phoenix Fire, how inspirational was that movie, especially towards the end, when B Rabbit, aka Eminem, shut down Papa Doc, where Papa Doc couldn't even say a word back. He had nothing left.
It definitely was a defining moment for me at that point, because when I saw how he said everything that Papa Doc would have said against him, he basically admitting everything that that his life was. It kind of showed me that even though he had a rough life, and even though things weren't perfect, he was still proud to be who he was, and he was still proud to be himself, and he didn't let nobody tell him how to be or who to be. And then that's when I started thinking, you know what? Why should I let some troll tell me I'm worthless? Why should I let some troll tell me that I'm stupid? Why should I let some troll tell me I'm retarded when I know that for a fact that ain't true?
Right. And it was interesting. Now, I don't know, this is probably maybe before your time, but one of the first white rappers that hit the scene back in my younger days, so I'm 47, was a guy by the name of Vanilla Ice, who had a song called Ice Ice Baby. And it was basically a remix of a Queen song, Under Pressure. Doom, 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 right? And he got sued for that. And he was trying to argue that, the pitch of me doing the doom, 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 doom is a little bit off than the Queen version. And I'm sitting there thinking, Vanilla, dude, it's the same thing, dude. Just changing the pitch is still a copyright violation. If you try to change the pitch of a copyrighted song and upload it on YouTube, the YouTube artificial intelligence, the content ID system, will catch that and will flag you down. Right. So, but the thing is, Vanilla Ice. Hey, Lewis Fuller, you want to come on the panel? Lewis Fuller, I can send you the link. Lewis Fuller is in the house here. Happy New Year, brother. Lewis, I've got Phoenix Fire and Muttnuts World. I'd love to bring you on for a few, bro. If I send you the link right now on Facebook, you want to pop on, bro? Let me know in the chat. I'll send you the link in just a few minutes. But anyway, so Vanilla Ice was one of the first, white rappers in a predominantly, world of black rappers, African American rappers, and he did. I mean, he had one hit wonder, and it was questionable, right? That's what Eminem had to. Thank you, Lewis, for watching my ads in full. Dude, I'm more concerned about helping you, bro, and getting you on the panel. But you're such a nice guy, dude. I appreciate that, dude. You want to? I love Lewis, man. He's like a pre-programmed computer. He's like, I'm watching your ads in
He's one of
full.
my
I like
good
your
moms.
videos. I love that guy. I mean, Lewis, you can replace Nightbot, dude. I swear. Like, we'll just program Lewis instead of Nightbot, right? We won't need Nightbot anymore. Lewis, would you like to come on the show? He says, you're welcome. Lewis, I'm going to bring you on the show. I'll send you the link in a few, all right? But yeah, so when Eminem, hit the scene, right? He had to overcome what Vanilla Ice and a few other Caucasian white rappers, couldn't overcome. And the fact that he was able to do it and he made something out of himself, and everything that Eminem created was original. It wasn't like Vanilla Ice who basically stole Queen's Under Pressure melody, right? Eminem, right. The respectful thing about him is he collaborated with Dr. Dre a lot, and they did a lot of original beats together. Like every single song or rap that Eminem did was original lyrics, and the composition was original. Now, let me ask you, Phoenix Fire, what are your thoughts about that? Then we're going to get right back to you, get your thoughts about it. Very inspirational.
I definitely thought it was amazing because the fun thing is that they overcame a lot of obstacles. I mean, they were themselves. They didn't try to be somebody they're not, but yet I think that there are some I think that that kind of spoke, volumes, saying, well, yeah, you just be you, don't be anyone else. Because, yeah. So what if rap was a African American type of music? It didn't to Eminem, Vanilla Ice. It didn't matter because to them, they're like, you know what? If they can do so, can I? And it's kind of more of a push to kind of integrate themselves into that genre to show everybody that, hey, just because another race does it doesn't mean that you can't. It basically just kind of opens doors for a lot of people.
Yeah, no, absolutely. What are your thoughts about it, Mutt? That's a great way to put it.
Yeah, I think it's also just like when Charlie Pride started in country. He was one of the first blacks to even step foot into country because country was predominantly white. So you got it in all genres of music. They put themselves out there because it's what they want to do. Even if they have people saying, oh, you're not going to make it, or, this isn't, you're not supposed to be in this type of music or whatever, or say whatever you want to do, So people put, you got to put yourself out there. And take the initiative to do what you want instead of living scared and not do what you want to do. You got to show your potentials and see where it takes you.
You're absolutely right. I'm trying to get Lewis Fuller the link here. I'll get you the link in just a second, Lewis. Okay, there you are. My computer's running a little bit slow opening Facebook because Facebook is pretty graphic intense, and I'm running so much already to run this stream. But I got it now, Lewis. I just sent you the StreamYard link on Facebook. So you should have it. Give me just a second here. There it goes. I'll have to do that from my phone when I'm running these streams because it's just, I've got a lot going on here. Okay. Yeah. So yeah, that's what I want to focus on partially not completely, but partially, but consistently in 2021 is really helping content creators out here on YouTube or any social media platform or anyone that wants to become an entrepreneur. I mean, you're going to be using the digital world to promote your business. And you're going to come across these types of people that are going to try to kick you down because they wish they could have the courage to do what you're doing. It takes a lot of courage and strength to come out here on YouTube, especially, or any social media platform and put yourself out there, right, Mutt? Like, what are your thoughts about that?
Especially when you go live for the first time. That's one of the scariest things is when you do your first live stream, because you don't know if anybody's going to show up. You don't know if you're going to flub or, mess up or whatever. And I'm not going to lie, I still have a little bit of anxiety when I do a live stream, but like I say, I came from another chat program where I was used to the trolls. I got used to them after a while. I learned how to handle them. So when I put myself over here on YouTube, that part of that aspect, yeah, they get to you a little bit. They get under your skin a little bit, but I was able to handle them, and I don't let them get to me anymore. I just block them, or one of my fast admins gets them. I have quite a few fast admins, but you're going to, like you say, you're going to have haters and naysayers and trolls and everything on any social media platform, but YouTube is the primarily worst. I mean, I would have to say, though, that the chat program I came from would probably be a little bit worse than YouTube, but it's a more...
What chat program is that, Mutt?
It's called Power Talk.
Power Talk?
Power Talk.
I've never heard of it. Okay.
Let's just say it's a crap show nowadays.
Okay.
But over there, you get to cam up yourself. You own your own chat room. Everybody can mic up. They can take turns micing up unless you have a multi-mic room, and then you can have like 4 people talking at one time. But over there's really no, it's not like YouTube. You don't get you could do whatever you could do and say whatever you want in a or R-rated room. There are PG rooms over there as well. But I mean, anything goes. When I mean anything goes, anything goes. But I haven't been on that program. Oh my God. I was on that program for at least almost 20 years. And then I came over here to YouTube, and I haven't been back to that program since.
Wow.
That program used to be a very good program, and then over the years, it just went to the crap show. It's not what I really want to say, but I mean, guys are friendly.
Yeah, and you know what, Mutt? Here's the thing. What a lot of people don't realize, and it sounds like that's a platform where it's probably a little more underground, and like you said, anything goes. See, a lot of people don't realize that, YouTube is actually pretty flexible. Like, YouTube even says you won't get demonetized for swearing. You won't necessarily get demonetized for swearing, but context matters, right? What they mean by context is that if I were to say the F word every now and then on a stream or a video, they're not going to more than likely demonetize me, and they're not going to remove the video. But it's how I use it. If I use it as an expression or, describing a story about somebody else in a professional manner, it's different than me saying, F you and go shove it up your you-know-what, right, to somebody. Or if you're like attacking somebody on a stream or using racial slurs and stuff like that, you understand there's a difference between expressing yourself professionally, throwing in a little occasional profanity, and just completely going off on a racist tirade or something like that, right? Does that make sense, Mutt?
Yeah, I just looked it up, and I mean, they still have. This is how many people they have on. Oh, where's my camera? On
Hang
live
on, let me
right
put you.
now.
Let me put you on full screen, girl. Hang on a second. Keep it there.
So that's goes to show you how. That's how many people they have live on that channel, on that program right now.
142, 215. Wow.
Mm-hmm. And at any given
Wow.
time, I've seen that number even higher than that when I used to be on there. It's over 1 million downloads for their app anyway. But like I say, I haven't been over there since I left and came to Pal Talk. I mean, came to YouTube.
Yeah, you know what,
Well, I twisted my words.
Yeah, but here's the thing. A lot of people complain that many social media sites, including YouTube, Facebook, Twitter, are silencing freedom of speech, or some people like to call it conservative speech. It's primarily the conservatives in the South and the Midwest that didn't have the best upbringing, and they just don't understand that being a good person doesn't mean that if you're going to be a good person, you wouldn't want to behave the way you've been behaving and getting shut down from these sites for doing, right? Why would you want to be the type of person that spews hate and attacks people, and then you get ticked off because YouTube and other social media platforms don't want that? I have to ask those people, do you think that it's normal human behavior to behave that way? And is their argument going to be, it doesn't matter whether it's normal human behavior or not, freedom of speech is freedom of speech. A lot of these lower class and lower middle class, Caucasian conservative, middle-aged men especially, but the women as well too, somewhat. This is the way that they like to live their life. They're like, freedom of speech, I can say whatever I want to whoever I want, wherever I want, right? And the truth of the matter is, no, you can't. And because if you came into my house and you behave that way, I would kick your
it's all
what
the
out.
Context of how you say it.
Correct, right? And see, these people, the reason why they even talk that way in the first place, and then they get mad for getting booted, it's because they're insecure people. They're projecting their insecurities. No secure man or woman would feel the need to attack or be hateful or do stupid things just to get attention. Someone that's secure is going to be happy within themselves, is going to take everything with a grain of salt, and whatever happens, right? Like, what are your thoughts, Mutt?
I feel there's freedom of speech, but it's all in the context of how you say what you're saying. And to me, a lot of those people that are getting censored and because they're saying stuff they shouldn't is because they're people who, when they signed up for these social media accounts, did not read the guidelines and, did not, read the, the conduct rules of conduct for that site or whatever, so they think, oh, I could just do what I want, but like I say, it's all in the context of how you say something. Yeah. If you're upset about, you don't like how something's going in the government, there's a way of saying it and make sure your facts are right. Or instead of just coming out and talking like you're a lunatic, and
right.
Yeah, I don't blame these social media sites for fact checking people on all the stuff with the politics and everything. I mean, because they could be held liable for that stuff being put out there.
Sure, and you know what? It's not even the liability thing they're more so worried about. They're worried about their sponsors. They're worried about the advertisers. You got to understand, these platforms are heavily, funded through advertising.
And that's what makes it free for us to be able to use these sites.
Right.
If it wasn't for them advertisers, we'd have to pay for these sites.
Right, and there's no way we would be able to, the average person would not be able to afford paying full price what I feel YouTube is worth with the quality they allow you to stream. Like it's amazing what I can do from my own place, in high quality 1080p HD. And down the road, I mean, maybe I'll do this when I get a new computer if it's feasible at that point. You can even stream in 4K now. I mean, the quality. If you go to Facebook and watch this live stream or any other live stream there, and you come onto YouTube, you take the exact same video on YouTube and Facebook,
You can see
upload
the
it.
differences in the quality. Yeah.
YouTube's compression methods and engineers, they're incredible. This is the best video platform there will ever
Not
be.
to mention, they store our videos that we upload, and what's it like 500 videos a minute, I think is what they said are uploaded, or something like that.
500 hours of video every minute on this platform. 500 hours of video are uploaded on YouTube every single minute of every day.
That's astronomical. And I mean, for them to be able to have the servers to be able to handle that.
Right. Real quick, Lewis Fuller, I sent you the StreamYard link on Facebook Messenger. So if you want to pop on, I still see you in the chat because I was able to tag you, but pop on in if you'd like. Also, anyone on Facebook, if you want to pop on in, let me know. I noticed 29 minutes ago, a good friend of mine from networking, George R., long time no hear from, hit me up. Let's get together sometime. Yeah, we can definitely get together in 2021. I'm not quite sure when they're going to, lay off the new restrictions out here in California. Due to the surge of COVID cases towards the end of last year.
Knock on wood, we don't have a lot of restrictions right now here in Maryland.
Yeah, unfortunately in California, we do. We're still able to get out and do things. You just have to wear a mask, and you just gotta, be careful. And they're shutting down, a lot of restaurants and stuff. They're still allowing takeout and this and that, but yeah, it's been a big mess. It's been a big mess. But yeah, George, I'm more so at this time looking to connect with people, do some live stream interviews, or do some collab videos together between Facebook and YouTube. So if you're interested in that, let me know. Also, if you're on Facebook watching right now and you want to join us live on the air on the panel, let me know, and I will send you the StreamYard link to join us live on the air through audio or video if you'd like as well. I'll send it to you through Facebook Messenger. So, Mutt, this is what I'm going to do. I'm going to turn over the show to you and step away to use the restroom for a few minutes to get a little more coffee. Between you and Phoenix Fire, you can carry the show for about 7 or 8 minutes, right, Mutt? You're good at that, right?
Done it before.
Of course you have. So why don't you go into sharing with everyone? Maybe you may want to ask Phoenix Fire first. A good host is always going to ask the other people to share their thoughts before they share their own, right? Because you're such a sweet, loving person, right, Mutt? You're very considerate to other people's wants, needs, and feelings, right, Mutt?
Yep. Yeah.
Yeah, you have manners. You were born in the Generation X era, like myself. So you were born with traditional morals, values, and ethics, right?
Mm-hmm.
Uh-huh. So yeah, you can start off with Phoenix Fire. Talk about what are you looking forward to, changing in 2021 compared to 2020, and what do you want to accomplish, and how do you want to help other people? Talk a bit about that. I'm going to put you full screen, Mutt and Phoenix Fire. And ladies, we'll be back I'll be back in a few. So go ahead, Mutt. The show is all yours.
Okie dokie. So yeah, Phoenix, what are you looking to accomplish in 2021?
I'm actually looking to start my own business. I want to start my own clothing line.
Oh, cool. That's cool. Yeah, I'm looking forward to just take my channel in kind of a more fun direction. do more live streams. I do these ones where while I'm crafting, I'm just chatting with people. I think it's a good way for people to get to know me better. Plus it's fun,
Yeah.
especially the one I did. Everybody was laughing at me because I got paint everywhere. Was trying not to get it everywhere, but it wound up getting everywhere. But and I'm looking forward to my birthday, but then again, I'm not, which that's in 24 days. I'm ready for my birthday, but I just don't want to turn 43 yet. But, it's just hopefully things will start calming down with this pandemic and be able to do more things. I'll be able to go, I'm praying to gods we get to go on our vacation this year, because that live, when I did that live stream last year, that live was one of my most popular lives.
Really?
It was from the Maryland State Fire Convention. And I did the parade, live stream the whole parade, which was like 3 or 4 hours long, 3 or 4 hours long, I believe. I live streamed from the convention center, showing different, booths and stuff there. Plus, I actually did a couple live streams from the hotel room, just with the beautiful view of the ocean. So
that's awesome.
Oh, I heard my phone make a funny noise and didn't know what it was. It was just somebody else going live. But yeah, so I'm hoping to do more live streams, and I want to add some more content videos. I'm on the fence about where I'm going with that right now. But I actually got to film videos later. That's why this is up behind me. But yeah, I just want to try to grow my channel and get my channel back where I almost had it year before last? Last year. Until I got derailed. That's a story for another time. And start going from there.
That's awesome.
But yeah, so what else are you looking forward to in this new year?
I'm actually looking forward to spend time with my cousins and my nephews. I haven't seen them in a while since the pandemic, and so I'm gonna go in a couple weeks to Florida to go see them and take them to Disney World.
Oh, cool. Yeah, my sister lives here in town, so I get to see my nieces and nephews a lot. Well, when my one niece is not on call or on a fire call. Well, she's 18 years old and she's a full-fledged firefighter, EMT, state and national. So
that's great.
My nephew is going into construction. He's only going to be 16 in June. And then my other niece is be 17 in July, and she's going into childcare.
That's awesome.
Yep. So I get to see my family a lot. And even during the pandemic, I've seen them. Matter of fact, they were here last night for dinner before, New Year's Eve dinner.
That's great. I'm glad you got to see them.
Yep. I get to see them all the time. So, I mean, I have other family, but I don't see them like that. Long story. But yeah, so hopefully this year's going to look up for everybody. I mean, last year was just a crap year for everybody.
It was.
With the pandemic, and then, not only the pandemic, it was just the fear of, once that hit, it was the fear of, is it going to affect my family? How's it going to affect my family? I mean, yeah, it kind of affected our family, but then again, it didn't. My niece and my brother-in-law have been exposed several times on fire calls, but luckily never tested for it. I have a friend of we have a friend of ours that lives on an island that's not far from us. It's actually, the island's actually considered Virginia, but it's still closer to us. He just lost his father-in-law to it. They had, for oh my God, the first 8 or 9 months of this whole pandemic, they never had any on that island, and they just had 2 cases of people pass away from it on the island. Both of them had underlying health issues, but so I mean, it's been scary. I mean, me and my mom, we pretty much, if we're not hanging with my sister and them, we go do what we got to do. We wear our mask, which this time of year, I'm really cautious anyway. Us both having, allergies, and I have a problem with asthma. I'm a little leery about being around a lot of people anyway. And I was social distancing before it was even a thing. But we just go do what we got to do and come back home. But it really, and I've seen us on the local news. They were saying that the whole pandemic is actually really weighing heavily on people's mental capacity, especially young children. They said that they've seen a lot of schools are seeing kids that were straight A students are now, because they have to do school virtually, their grades are dropping, but like they were saying, even if you just call someone or you video chat them, check up on people that aren't handling it very well. So what are your thoughts about the whole pandemic and what's caused the mental side of the whole the thing?
I mean, the pandemic has been a worry for me, because my nieces and nephews and my other family members, and honestly, out of all my family members that live with me, they all got it but me. I never got it. They all had it, but I didn't.
Wow.
Which I was shocked.
Yeah, but yeah, hopefully everybody made out okay.
They did. They only had the beginning of it, and that lasted for 3 days, and then they were over it. So that was a good thing. But I'm not gonna get the vaccine only because, my immune system is compromised, with asthma.
See, that's with me. Yeah, that's with me. They were saying that if certain drugs that if you're allergic to certain drugs or certain health issues, they were advising people not to get that vaccine. So I'm not getting it either.
Well, nothing was because every time I've gotten the flu vaccine, every year I've gotten it, the day after I got the vaccine, I got the flu the day after. And I'm just like, I'm not.
Speaking about that, actually, I know Delaware, which is what, I'm like 3 hours from Dover. Somewhere in Delaware, they've already had their first case of influenza B, the flu strain. And they've already had a case of someone dying from it.
Wow. I'm back, by the way.
Welcome back. Welcome back. Normally I type that in the chat, but welcome back.
Yes. Lewis, where are you, brother? I thought you were going to pop on the show, man. Come on, it's New Year's Day, folks.
Let me see if I send him a link if he gets it.
Yeah, go ahead and send Lewis the link again to the StreamYard. You should have it, Mutt. And we got to get Lewis in the Google Hangouts private moderator chat behind the scenes. But, ladies, very interesting conversation. I was listening to it on my wonderful, beautiful new iPhone 12 Pro Max. And I want to speak about what you said, Mutt, and what you were also talking about, Phoenix Fire, is that, you've got children that were straight A students, and now they're slacking off and their grades are dropping because of the virtual schooling. And here's the issue. We've already had an issue in this crazy modern digital world that we live in, we're so connected in ways unlike ever before that people have already lost the human in-person touch, which is extremely important, right? What were these devices made for initially? They were made to connect us easier so we can, schedule times to hang out and get together and enjoy each other's company. But what was happening before the pandemic is people would use these devices to meet, hang out. You can use them to find someone to go on a date with or hang out with friends. But what happens? You go and hang out with your friends by using the device to set up the event, whatever you're doing, right? And then you get there and all of you are on your smartphones the entire time, right? So these kids nowadays and people in general, even adults, we become addicted to these devices to the point of where we already couldn't turn them off before the pandemic. Now you've got the element of the lockdowns that are keeping us at least 6 feet apart, and you can't, you cannot, conduct regular classes for school, for other types of classes, fitness classes, karate, jujitsu, other things that, would allow us to, associate or how to say this, interact with people in the real world. So this pandemic has made something worse that was already getting bad enough initially, right? Mutt, does that make sense to you? Mutt has got she muted because she had the cough.
Yeah,
Mutt, hold on. You're learning how to mute so you don't have all those crazy sounds coming through, huh? Go ahead, Mutt.
Yeah, I mean, I've seen some kids that they do better, and they're doing better with it virtual. But then there's some that aren't because they're more of an in-person kind of type learning child. Yeah. But what I was watching was saying it's weighing heavily on their mental status because they're trying to, keep their education where it's supposed to be, but they're having issues with doing it over the internet because even though the teacher is there on Zoom, and able to, they're able to see the teacher and they're able to see the kids in the classroom, like it would be the classroom, but they can still see everybody. It's still not the same is what a lot of kids were saying. They're missing their friends. They're missing the socialization with each other, being able to, go to a friend's house for a sleepover. Some of them, the younger children can't understand, why can't I go play with my friends, and,
right.
or why can't I see this person? Why can't I see that person? Or why can't we go here, go there? And, and even some adults are not even handling it very well.
No, you're right. Yeah. Real quick, Mutt, hang on one second. We got WrestleMania in the house here. Yeah, I've known WrestleMania, aka Jamie, for years, even going back to my former channel. Jamie says, "Hey, at A Grip on Life, my New Year's resolution is to make changes to my and Luann's channels." That's his wife, with some hashtag shorts, new graphics, some new animations, and sprinkle in some drone footage. How about you? Wow, we're going to talk about that. I'm glad you brought up. Yeah, I'm glad you brought up the hashtag shorts, which YouTube has now become a part of. I've been meaning to do some shorts myself, just haven't had the time to do it. Well, that's an excuse. I've been just focused on so many other things.
Is that only for monetized channels, or can anybody do the shorts?
No, anyone can do shorts. Yeah, you got to understand that.
I heard it was only for the monetized channels.
No. That's not the case. The monetization system is completely different from the video system. So search and discovery and all the different things you can do on YouTube have nothing to do with monetization. The only aspects for monetization that matter is your content advertiser friendly. It doesn't abide by community guidelines and copyright, guidelines as well. So no, anyone can use shorts, and a lot of people are blowing up on YouTube by using shorts because they YouTube saw what TikTok is doing. TikTok, blew up, and
I couldn't keep up with TikTok.
Right, there are some other platforms that are doing the short, vertical videos.
Yeah.
Now for me, yes, exactly. Now for me, I've always been about landscape, widescreen, high definition, where you can see the full picture. But I understand. See, the millennials perfected this. No disrespect to the millennials, but the millennials were the ones that started doing this, portrait, vertical type of video. And when I first started seeing this years ago, I was like, wow, these millennials don't even know how to shoot video properly to get the full widescreen aspect, right? Even on your phone, you can tilt your phone to landscape and you've got that full HD, right? Mm-hmm. But it's become a popular concept because you can create these short videos to get a quick message out to your audience, and they're more prone to watch a 30 to 60-second video entirely than a 5-10 minute video on YouTube, or even a 1 or 2 hour live stream on YouTube or somewhere else, because their attention spans are practically nothing, right? Does that make sense, Mutt?
Yeah.
So it's a thing that YouTube wanted to go with. It's been a trending thing, and I got to say honestly, YouTube has really adapted over the last several years to continue adding some great features. The new YouTube Studio is fantastic. People were complaining about that. The old Creator Studio, which they called Creator Studio Classic, which is no longer available now. People were upset that, they're moving to this, new studio. And I got to say, the new studio is phenomenal.
It took me a little bit to get used to the new one. I was so used to a few things that I would do. I had to, would go to and the other one to do, but I finally figured it all out. It works fine now.
Well, it's
once
always
you get used to
fine.
it, you can go with it.
Well, people get used to habits, right? When you use something, you get used to it. You know the whole thing. It becomes a habit. And then, when change happens, you have to start over. And a lot of people, I mean, even for me at first, I was like, wow, it's like, I'd like to use both. But now I'm like, well, wait a minute, I'm used to it. I love the additional stats. YouTube now shows you, how many impressions you get, meaning how many times they show your thumbnail out there, which is a possibility for new people to see your video. They show your click-through rate. They show you so many amazing statistics that if you do a deep dive, you can figure out, more of the content to create that will more than likely get you better traction on your channel.
For me, it was the whole uploading of the video process when they changed it at first, because of the way, the new way you upload and everything. It was with adding the end screens. I was so used to the old version of how to add your end screens in. When they changed that, it took me about a month or two to really get that down packed.
Yeah, but now you probably notice it's much easier. It's kind of like
it's like I could do it probably blindfolded.
Well, here's a good way that I like to look at it. Like the old, Creator Studio that was named Creator Studio Classic during the transition period from that to the new YouTube Studio that we have now. Yes, it might have been a little more simple, but the new Creator Studio, the new studio, is kind of like it's dumb. It's streamlined, it's dummy proof. Basically, you click on the button and this screen pops up, and it basically tells you what to do. It even gives you tips.
Now we can upload. I think up like 10 videos at one time. I believe it is. So we can drag and drop multiple videos to upload, and they go into into your draft, and then you can just go back in and do all your your metadata and all that. So it makes it a lot easier for people who batch film, to
Yep.
pre-post videos.
Well, interestingly enough, Mutt, and I'm going to send some of these links to some of the people I trust, but most people know I had a former YouTube channel where I had at least, between live streams and videos, I had at least maybe 600-700 videos total. And I've re-uploaded most of them to a channel called, Coach Eli Classics, videos from my former channel. Now, those videos are all unlisted. They're not public. One of the main reasons why I re-uploaded those videos is because a lot of people were re-uploading my older content, and I needed to have a way to be able to flag that content for copyright. But yes, as I was doing that, because I have a fiber line, you can upload up to 15 videos at once, but YouTube will limit you, at least how it's been for me. You can only upload a maximum of 30 videos per day. So let's say you want to re-upload hundreds of videos from a former channel that you've stored on your hard drive. You can only upload 15 at once. You can queue up 15 at once, and then you can upload a maximum of 30 per day. Now, for most people, I have a fiber line, so most people don't have that yet in their area. It will take them a long time to upload 30 videos. For me, I can upload those 30 videos probably in about an hour or less, right? So I get that, but those are the limits. But they're not bad. I mean, it works quite well, don't you think?
I was just looking at my TubeBuddy milestones. I didn't realize, I hadn't even paid attention, that on December 9th of last year, now, I hit my 800 video milestone. I've posted 800 videos.
Wow. Yeah, and in 2021, we're going to do whatever it takes to get you monetized. Awesome. We're going to do whatever it takes to get you monetized in Phoenix Fire. We're going to help you as well. Anyone that wants to get monetized and create a sustainable, successful YouTube channel that's going to be advertiser friendly, those are the types of people that I want to work with in 2021. I honestly think anyone that is running a self-employed business or has a purpose or a passion for something they want to create, you got to be on YouTube. You should be on Facebook as well and the other social media sites. But
I gotta get better at posting on my other social media accounts.
Yeah, and you know what? I've started to use my Facebook again, and my LinkedIn and my Twitter, and that's the way to do it. You gotta just keep putting information out there, because there's so many people doing so many different things, and a lot of people are doing the same thing that we're doing, right? So how are we going to stand out, separate ourselves, differentiate ourselves from them, so people choose us? We got to continue to put that information out there, if not each and every day, almost each and every day. And after a while, you're going to build momentum. More and more people are going to be curious to check you out. And then, it's going to work. It's going to work out for you. A lot of people give up so soon because they're not getting somewhere within a set amount of time, a couple months, 2-3 months, 5-6 months. I've been at this for almost 4 years, folks. And trust me, I haven't gone viral yet. And, the video I have that has the most views is my channel trailer. It has over 4,000 views. But my next biggest video is like 3,000.
Most views is an old product review video that I did when I first really did get into doing my product review videos, and it was on a personal healthcare product, and I'm like, it's got to be people from another country watching it. I haven't really delved into the analytics on it. I'm like, I couldn't believe when I go in and that's the top video.
How many views do you have in that video?
Oh, I'd have to pull that up. I'm not even in there anymore.
If you had to guess,
I would say it's up in the thousands.
Okay. Yeah. See, that's like, for me, like, I really I really want to start hitting 5 to 10,000 views per video or more, and that's what it's going to really take. I haven't gotten there yet. And I've been at this for 4 years, and I still continue to do it, if not each and every day, almost each and every day. And that's what it takes, folks. Sometimes it's going to take you doing something consistently that you love and enjoy to get the traction you need and to go viral and make that channel or business successful and sustainable. A lot of people give up a bit too soon
I
because
haven't delved into my analytics in a while.
you got to check them out. I check mine out each and every day. Every single video I put out there, I look to see the audience retention.
I used to do mine
see
every day, but then I got to the point where I was kind of getting upset with myself about my my analytics, so I stopped doing it.
Wow. I hear you. Let's do this because it looks like Lewis is not going to come on, and the rest of the people that were going to come on are probably not around.
The link, but I don't know where he's at.
Don't worry about it. We're going to go through one more thing here, and then we're just going to wrap this up in about 10 or 15 minutes max. And this is one thing that's very, very near and dear to my heart. This is what I feel it's going to take for people to turn things around in 2021 and be successful at whatever they're trying to accomplish. And that is consistency. Consistency is the key element to success, in my opinion, regarding anything and everything, whether it's, a dating relationship, in your personal life, marriage, if you're married, or you're running a business, or if you're even working for somebody else and you want to get promoted, you got to be consistent and show them that you're worthy of that promotion, right? Or the raise or whatever, right? And, the one thing that I could say it drives me crazy, but I'm a cool guy. I don't let things really get to me. But if I had to say the one thing that drives me crazy about people that want to be a successful entrepreneur, for example, is they say, "Oh, I'm not getting anywhere, and I've been doing this for so long." And I offer these people the world. I say, "Hey, come join us on a panel. Let's do some shows together. Let's collaborate. Let me help you get some exposure. I can promote you through my social network." And they're like, yeah, let's do it, right? And then when it comes time to do it, they're nowhere to be found, right?
Right.
So if you want to be successful in 2021 and beyond, okay, and even before that, the recipe to success is consistency. To me, actions speak louder than words. You can sit here and blow smoke up my you-know-what all you want, right? And you can keep on complaining that you're not getting anywhere. But if people are offering you things that can help you get further ahead and you don't find the time and prioritize those things and make them happen, then you have no leg to stand on with your whining and complaining. I'm not going to want to hear it. I don't want to hear anyone whine and complain when I'm willing to give them the shirt off my back and help them in any way possible. Let me ask Phoenix Fire this. What are your thoughts about consistency? How important is consistency to you?
It's very important because the more you're consistent, the more people are gonna know what to expect from you, and they're gonna know the kind of person you are. They're gonna know what kind of person you are, but also what kind of morals you have. Because if you pretend to be somebody else, then no one is gonna trust you. You got to be able to be consistent and also be willing to go beyond just being nice and doing these people. You got to also be yourself, but also not try to hide behind anything, because honesty and consistency will always get you to the top.
Yeah, you're right. And just because people are consistent doesn't mean they're going to reach the top right away. You can do everything right for years and still not grow as fast as you would expect to grow. I mean, to be honest with folks, there is a little bit of luck involved with being successful and going viral on YouTube and triggering the YouTube algorithm. I got to mention this once again. Wow. And I'm not going to mention his name because I don't want him to get trolled or attacked. But I just got another $5 Cash App from this amazing gentleman that's been supporting my show behind the scenes. And, sir, I have to mention you actually made a comment yesterday when you sent another $5 Cash App donation, and you said, what they do is wrong. I support you. And he's talking about the other people that I was talking about on my stream last night, especially that 35-year-old millennial guy that
was
has
an interesting story too.
Yeah, he has over 100 videos of me on his main channel and like 40 plus videos of me on his other backup channels. And he continues to talk about. I haven't talked about him in ages, but I've moved on. We've all moved on. And this dude has an audience, right? This 35-year-old millennial dude built his active audience. Oh, look who's here, Queen Rosie, Red Nation. Hey, you want to come on the panel? Hey, have her come on the panel for Phoenix Fire. Are you able to send Queen Rosie the link or get her to connect with us on Hangouts? I'd love to bring her on the panel for a few. Awesome. But this 35-year-old millennial guy, basically, he created an audience based off of the people that I removed from my channel over the past several years, including my former channel. A lot of people came through my channel. They were attacking me. They were harassing me. They were harassing my moderators. They were trolling, right? And they're just being flat out rude. So I banned them, which is what you do when you want to run a good channel, right? So what happened? This millennial dude, was following me and basically reached out to these people and built an audience of Coach Eli haters that are his active audience, right? What happens when you build an audience like that and you try to create content outside of Coach Eli hate content, right? No one's going to want to show up, or people will show up, and they'll stay around less and they'll donate less, right? When do you get the best results from your audience? When you give that audience what they initially came there for, right? So it's really pathetic what this guy continues doing, right? And this guy that's been donating to my channel, dude, you don't have to donate all the time. I appreciate it, bro. Maybe at some point you can come back into my channel and you'll be okay, putting yourself out there publicly on my channel. We can talk about it. You can email me behind the scenes if you'd like. But this guy's saying what they do is wrong. I mean, people are beginning to even realize this. So it's just really sad to me what some people will do to try to make a name for themselves because they're so insecure that they can't do it the right way. They try to hold on to, in this situation, this guy's trying to hold on to this Coach Eli hate facade that he's created over the last several years. And so it's pretty pathetic. It's pretty pathetic. Yeah, feel free to share your channels out here, folks, because you can no longer go to channel unless you have the go-to channel extension like I have. So yes, if you want to share all the channels, Queen Rosie, no problem. Subscribe to the channels of the moderators. Bang the bell. Select all notifications. Now, WrestleMania, he said something a second ago. Hashtag shorts are TikTok style vertical video, but must be under 60 seconds. So I had to modify my nonlinear video editor. Once I did that, it is not too bad. Interested in seeing how it works out. Yeah, I'm going to try it out too in the new year early on.
Yeah, I'm thinking about trying it out myself.
Yeah. WrestleMania says, hi up, Buttonless World. Sorry, busy typing, not ignoring you. WrestleMania furthermore says, I did it on an Eli show in the past. It is easy. Eli will walk you through the show and what to expect. No reason to be nervous. If you want to promote your channel, get yourself out there.
Not nowhere near me. They're shooting through the woods over across the way from me.
Ah,
They
okay.
shoot off semi-automatic rifles and all that kind of stuff over there. And
Okay.
they're a good half a mile or mile away from my house.
Oh,
And we still hear it like they're right here close to us.
okay. WrestleMania furthermore says, been on other live streams in the recent past as well. It gets easy over time. Just do it. Absolutely. Just do it. Yeah. You'll get over going live initially can be nerve wracking, but when you've done it as long as I've done it, once you start doing it, it becomes second nature. It becomes like a pre-recorded video, but it's just live, right? If you're going to, like in many cases, if I'm just going to, record a pre-recorded video for like 30 minutes or 25 minutes, I'll just do it live instead because it would be the exact same thing. The only difference is you have a live audience to interact with at that moment, and then it still goes as a replay afterwards anyway. And live streams and pre-recorded videos, they are searchable and discoverable through the YouTube algorithm the same way. One is not favored by the other. The good thing about the live streams is that you have that engagement, and a lot of people love that engagement. Plus, you can bring a panel of people on like we have right now. WrestleMania says, hi, Queen Rosie Ren Nation. Welcome back. Let's see. She's backstage. All right. So should we let's bring on Rosie. Ready to bring on Rosie here?
Yeah.
Let's add her to the stream. We're gonna bring on Queen. I can't even talk. We're gonna bring on Queen Rosie. Let's welcome her to the show and give her a big, huge round of applause.
Hey, sis.
How you doing? With y'all guys of 2020. 21 actually. 2021.
2021. Queen Rosie, Ren Nation, how are you doing? Welcome to the show. It's great to have you on here. It was great to connect with you yesterday on your live stream. Firewolf Studios, aka Chris, connected us, and I really enjoyed your show. I know you went live right before I went live, and I'll check out your replay. I would have been there, but when you got a show coming up, you got to do what you got to do, right? But I'm sure there'll be plenty of opportunities to collaborate down the road. But why don't you share with us a little bit? I'll put you on full screen if you want to pop on your camera for a second. That's up to you. I'll put you on full screen. Tell us a little bit about you and how has YouTube treated you?
Well, I am a Star Wars fan, and YouTube has been treating me good and bad with the troll problem that I keep having, and I cannot control it. Like really, it I almost cried yesterday on stream because of all of those people that kept trolling my channel and all that.
Yeah. And trolling's been a big issue out here. That's one thing I'm going to be helping people with in 2021 because I've been severely trolled out here, and it made me stronger. I was a strong person when I came on YouTube already, but it wasn't good enough. YouTube, if you're going to stick around YouTube and create content, especially do live streams, it's going to toughen your skin like 10 times over. Has it made you a lot stronger, Queen Rosie, to be out on YouTube with what you've dealt with?
Yeah, and I am at 732 subscribers now.
Way to go!
Excellent. Where are you from?
Texas. Yeah,
a lot of people are.
I was thinking I was hearing the Texas accent.
All my exes live in Texas. I'm a California boy, but I had a country phase too. Hey, us California guys, we like a little country too every now and then. Little George Strait, for those of you that don't remember that song. All my exes live in Texas. What's that?
I was telling her I'm East Coast.
I'm West Coast. I am above Mexico.
Excellent. You're Central Time Zone, right, Queen Rosie?
Yes, Central Texas is my home.
Ah,
If I'm not
okay.
mistaken, that's an hour, 2 hours behind me.
What'd you say, Mutt?
I believe she's what, 2 hours behind me?
1 hour. She's Central Time.
Yeah, because it's
so
7:43 for me right now.
it's 6:43 probably.
I'm also a fan of Disney, of course. I'm a big fan of Disney. I go to Walt Disney World every year.
Is it just me, or are you guys having a hard time hearing Rosie? Is she coming in a little soft, or is it just me?
She's a little low on my side.
Okay. I don't know if you can move a little closer to your microphone, Rosie. That's totally up to you, but we're just having a little hard time hearing you.
Sorry about that.
Oh, there you go.
All I am saying is that I love Star Wars, and I go to Walt Disney World every week. Not every week, but every year.
Cool.
Awesome. Are they open right now during the pandemic?
Yeah, they are.
You just have to wear a mask, huh?
Yep.
Okay. Well, at least some places are still open. Sounds like back east and in the South and the Midwest, they're a little bit more liberal on keeping places open, even though California should be liberal. Like they're shutting us down out here.
I mean, our restaurants, and we have places that are open, but a lot of major events where there be lots and lots of people where you could not social distance, they were shut down on us.
Yeah, a lot of the indoor dining has been shut down in California. They did shut it down, then they reopened it.
Ours is back down to 50% capacity right now.
Well, that's how we were. They had us completely shut down earlier on in the year. Then they reopened it to 50% capacity or so, and spreading people throughout the dining room. Right
before Christmas, we had went up to 75-80% capacity, and right before Thanksgiving, they shut us back down to 50% capacity.
Yeah, and right now what's happening with us is that a lot of restaurants moved dining outdoors. They spent some money to get some tents and stuff like that, and they're even shutting that down for now out here in California. So, I'm hoping by the first few months of the year that everybody, they get more people vaccinated.
Dining on the East Coast here where I'm at is kind of not a thing.
I hear you. In California, we love dining. We love dining outside in California, but the weather is a little bit.
We have it in here. Some of our restaurants do it here in the summer.
Yeah. Well, the weather. Not trying to show off Mutt or anyone else, but the weather in California. I live in the San Francisco Bay Area. The weather is amazing. Even like when it gets to like 60 or 55 degrees out here, we're like freezing, right? To you folks back east, right, where you're in snow territory, snow country, that's like warm to you guys, right?
60's cold to me.
Well,
this 60 or below is cold to me.
You're the exception, but people that live back east and they're in snow country and they're used to sub-zero weather or weather in the teens, right, in the 20s all the time. To them, 50 degrees is like a blessing, right? To us in California,
right now we're sitting at 48 degrees and it's raining. It's behind off.
Oh, really? I'll have to look and see what the weather is like.
50, almost 60. We're supposed to be like almost 60 degrees and sunny tomorrow. Wow. It's like so weird.
So in Redwood City right now, where I live, which is half an hour south of San Francisco in the San Francisco Bay Area, it's 58 degrees. 58 degrees in the middle of winter. Like you
58
really
degrees right now would be a heat wave for us.
right. You see what I'm saying? So outdoor dining out here, even during this time of the year, it might be a little chilly at that, but that's, you put on a jacket and you're fine, right? And then they have heat lamps. But now they're even, not allowing that. So it's affected a lot of restaurants, out here
Well, where me and Mom
in
go on
California.
vacation, Ocean City, Maryland, they're right on the ocean. They got up with a boardwalk, and a lot of the restaurants have outside dining. But this time of year, they can't even really do that. There's a lot of restaurants down there that have that are capable for outside dining, but it's just the weather that has just been so crazy here. It's either rainy or just blisteringly cold, so they can't. They weren't able to keep the outside dining open this year.
I hear you. Now let's go. I want to talk about one more thing here, and then we're going to wrap this up in about 15, 20 minutes because I've got to go spend some time with my family for New Year's Day dinner with my aunt, my mother, and my brother. But the final topic that I'd like to discuss is, vaccinating people with the pandemic. And, we can talk about it as long as we don't share things that, are not factual. I'm all about the facts, and I'm all about, just sharing opinions, about these things. Now, I'm not here to judge anyone's, political party preference choice or who they voted for president or whether they voted or not. But I always mention, for me, I am slightly on the left. I'm not an extremist left. I don't hate the right, but I'm slightly more to the left. But I like views from both sides, the left and the right. That makes sense for the best overall aspect of everyone. I did vote for Joe Biden because I did feel, it's time for a change. Now, whether people support Trump or not, that's on them. And there may be some people on the panel that do support him, not a problem at all. But my thing is this. What I've seen over the last month plus since, Trump lost the election is a president that is incredibly selfish, that has just let the country slip into craziness. We're already, struggling to get through this pandemic. It's affecting us financially. It's affecting us emotionally. It's affecting everyone. And this guy would rather go out golfing every day instead of run the country. Right. This guy would rather go golfing every day.
Until they showed it on the news, I never realized he owned a golf course in Sterling, Virginia, which is not that far from me.
Well, he's a rich man.
And I've been past that golf course before.
Yeah. Well, here's the thing that has really, really bothered me, because Trump was a part of starting Operation Warp Speed to get vaccines out to as many people as possible, as quickly as possible, right? And they had wanted to vaccinate 20 million people by this point, and I believe as of this point, there are less than 3 or 4 million people vaccinated. So Operation Warp Speed, that President Trump was so thrilled about, right? And so passionate about, right? Is a failure, or has been a failure so far. So my whole thing is this: like, I got a lot of conservative friends, and I love you all regardless of your views, right? But I got to ask my conservative friends out there that may be watching, right? Is that, what are your thoughts about your president that has made all these promises and has not delivered? What are your thoughts about someone that would rather go golfing every day than tackle the issue that's killing nearly 2,000 to 3,000 people per day and infecting hundreds of thousands more? And that's what really gets to me here. That's what really gets to me here. How can people, now listen, I'm not criticizing anyone for their views. I'm just saying, I don't care whether it's a Democrat or Republican or Independent running the country the way Trump's been running it the last few months, at least. I would feel the same exact way. If Joe Biden was doing what Trump is doing right now, I'd be calling out Joe Biden. even though I'm slightly left.
Oh, yeah.
This has nothing to do with my political party preference. This has to do with what's right, and with what I feel is more so hurting the country here in the U.S. than helping the country. And not only is it hurting the U.S., what he's doing, it's hurting the entire world, because technically we're the strongest nation in the world, right? We're the richest nation in the world, right? Until China surpasses us in 10 years if we don't do something about it, right?
Right.
So, Mutt, what are your thoughts about that? And it looks like to
me, I'm just ready for him to be out, because he does not have his priorities right with the pandemic going on. He, like you say, he'd rather be out golfing or be in Mar-a-Lago or wherever, instead of, sitting down and trying to figure out why are things not getting done like they're supposed to be getting done. Well, if you really sit there and think, it's because you're not leading the country like you should be leading the country.
Exactly. Right. By the way, this is banana pudding from HEB.
That looks pretty good. I'm getting hungry right now. I haven't eaten today.
I'm either having leftover chicken noodle soup. I'm not, or sushi. I'm not sure yet.
Oh.
I have options.
Queen Rosie, do you have an opinion about what's been going on with the way our country's been run lately?
No, not really.
Okay. Fair enough. I'll tell you honestly, for me, before I got onto YouTube, I kept up with politics and I knew what was going on, but I just never really felt the need to talk about politics or share political views, or talk about religion and all that stuff, right? But as I've spent more and more time out here on YouTube over the past several years, I see that a lot of people are very expressive in that way. And a lot of people will attack you, because in my case, these people assumed that I was this liberal extremist, which I'm not. I'm not a liberal extremist. I'm just slightly left, right? But because of how different of a person I was, a good person, I don't attack people, I'm professional for the most part. I mean, I have my moments, we all do. But I got attacked by a lot of these right-wing extremist conservative YouTubers out here from the South and the Midwest, solely on the fact that, I'm slightly left, and, I believe that there is a difference between freedom of speech and hate speech. And these conservatives, they feel that hate speech should be included in freedom of speech. And I don't believe that. So for me, politics have become even more important to me now, because I've been dealing with so many different walks of life, running my business online here on YouTube, that I never had to deal with before. In the past, I was out here in the Bay Area, I was, selling insurance. And then before that, I worked in the corporate world, right? And politics, while they might have affected me to a certain extent, they really did not affect me as much as they affect me now, especially being on a public platform like YouTube. So, Queen, I totally understand why you may not have an opinion at this point, but as you continue to grow your channel, and if you turn it into a business, you're going to start to see a lot of those things affecting you, and you're gonna see what's going to happen. I felt the same way as you did just a few years ago. Mutt, is there anything else you want to mention about 2020 and how crazy of a year it was? Anything else you want to mention about our wonderful current president, Donald J. Trump? I know I'm being a little sarcastic there, but I'm trying to be polite. I'm really trying to be polite and advertiser friendly here. I really am.
It makes me he kind of makes me upset to even live as close as I do to the White House. I mean, I'm 5 hours from Pennsylvania Avenue, but as for 2020, I'm just ready to leave that in the past now. That was one crap show of a year.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm just ready for new things. I'm ready for our new president to take over, because I know that he's probably going to really crack down and get the vaccines out to the ones who are going to take it. See, I'm not going for the vaccine, because they say people with a lot of allergies to medicines or other health issues, should lean not towards getting it. And with me having respiratory issues anyway, I'm just straying in the era of caution. But
I think you need to go see your primary care physician and ask them that, because I think everybody, as many people as possible, need to get vaccinated so we can get back on track.
Yeah, I'm out and out. I'm not getting it. It's just the side effect, the possibility of the side effects alone that I've read up on and have been told by other medical people that I know. I'm opting out.
Okay. No, that's fine. I mean, if I was, this is just my opinion. You're entitled to yours. I get it.
Yeah, I've done the research and everything. Yeah.
Sure. I would definitely see your doctor and get your primary care physician's professional opinion on that, because, we're not going to get back to normal until, I believe they said at least 70, 75, or 80% of the people are vaccinated here in the U.S. and globally as well. So, that is that. But another thing I wanted to mention real quick,
I don't even get the flu shot either. I just don't like the side effects.
I don't get the flu shot myself, because here's the thing. Like, what was her name? I'm forgetting her name. Jesus. Phoenix Fire, and she's not here. She had to get going. And maybe her phone died. Like, she was mentioning.
I think she's just about going to go get ready for her own life.
Okay. I heard her say a few minutes ago that I'm losing my train of thought, that she got the flu shot and then she still got sick the next day. There are so many different variations of the flu, and the flu shots that are made for certain types of known flus. You have to know
the different variations. Yeah.
Right. So you can't vaccinate against something that's unknown, right? And there are a lot of,
like right now in the state of Delaware, they've already had a case of someone dying from influenza B.
Wow.
This whole COVID, to be honest, this whole COVID situation, I mean, I have to wear a mask every time I get my nails done. Every time every time I go get my nails done, I have to wear a mask. I don't know why, but this pandemic has got to stop.
I hear you. I agree.
It's getting really frustrating having to wear a mask every time we stand up.
We've only got to wear ours on public transit, in like grocery stores, places like that, and when you can't social distance.
Right. That's exactly right.
Mm-hmm.
But in my small town, it's easy to social distance.
Well,
yeah, because there's hardly anybody there.
Yeah.
well, in my home state, which is Texas, I live in Texas, so it's hard for me to keep my distance from people, because
you're a bigger metropolitan area. Yeah.
It's very, very frustrating that I get to, quote unquote, social distance from people who I love. I don't get it.
Yep. No, I hear you. I hear you, Rosie. And,
that's like with me and Mom. That's why we go so early. When we go to the grocery store, we go real early in the morning. That way, because there's not a lot of people in there, and we can get in and get out, and don't have to worry about being around a lot of people.
Yeah, I hear you. And here's the thing. I think as we get into the first half of 2021, I think enough people will be vaccinated probably by summertime to the point of where we can start really taking the masks off and getting back to normal. That's just my guess. But another thing I wanted to mention real quick before we wrap things up here in a few is, even though I'm like slightly on the left, there are some things that I will agree with Trump, and I will agree on the fact that I feel the stimulus should be $2,000 instead of $600. Like, there are people in this country that are suffering right now financially because of this pandemic. They've been laid off their job, or they've had their hours cut back, and $600 is a joke. Like, let me tell you honestly, even $2,000 here where I live in the Bay Area, that's not good enough for us.
Certain areas, yeah.
Right?
I mean, I'm thankful that we did get that 600, because it did help me and my mom out. But for some people though, it especially if they've got a lot of bills or whatever, that 600 is not going to go far.
That 600 is not going to go anywhere. So on that aspect there, as much as I've been I don't know if I want to say anti-Trump. Maybe that's what it is. As much as I've disagreed with President Trump, let's put it.
I guess you could call it semi-anti, because we agree with some things of his, and then other things it's like, what the hell is he thinking?
Right, but Mutt, here's the thing: what's right is right, and what's wrong is wrong. Right? Right is right, and wrong is wrong. It doesn't matter who does it. It matters what's right and what's wrong. So when I talk about things I don't like about Trump, it's not that I want to hate a Republican president. It's not that. If a Democratic president like Joe Biden did or does things like Trump has done that I didn't like, I wouldn't like it either. This has nothing to do.
It has nothing to do with the political side of the party.
Right.
It has to do with the person themselves, how the person themselves carries themselves, how they're acting, and their decisions they're making and stuff. Right.
So, I really hope that, they can get some more stimulus money coming out to the people.
The way I'm hearing, if they do go through about the 2,000, they'll have to pay everybody that's already gotten the 600 what the back pay, which for me would be what, $1,400.
Sure,
I believe it. Yeah. So, but I'm not holding my breath.
Yeah,
because because of Mitch McConnell was saying it's some other things that Trump wants involved with it that I don't see the House or the Senate actually doing. And one of them had to do with the whole about social media being liable, being held liable or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
That whole, I remember you were talking about it one time before. I can't even call the name of it. And then something about they want an 18-person party to look into voter fraud or something.
Mm-hmm.
That's what it's all about. His problem is all about a lot, and then that's supposed to be bundled in with this $2,000 stimulus thing. I'm like,
I hear you. But just you and me now. Rosie popped off. I think she's going to go to the other stream. We're going to wrap this up in a few. But yeah, no, I hear you, Mutt. I hear you. And, again, I think we all need to work together and put aside our political party preferences. Or, I think we need to put aside our stereotypes about the other side of the party that
what
we
shocked me is when Nancy
with.
Pelosi was actually for the $2,000 stimulus checks. I'm like, that woman's been holding up stuff for months in Congress, and she's actually for it. I'm like, wow, no wonder we're having strange weather all over the United States.
Well, a lot of people don't like her. I don't have a problem with her. I think,
I just don't like her demeanor, her actions. It's not her as a person. It's just her some of her political choices are not really, like she shot stuff down they could have had several stimulus checks out before now, and she kept shooting them down. Her and Mitch McConnell. I don't like him either.
Yeah. Well, I hear you. I hear you. How do I say this the right way? I think
Yes,
that
yeah.
I think that this is why I'm only slightly on the left. I think that some liberals out there are pretty extreme,
Mm-hmm.
and it's kind of funny. They may be extreme, but when it comes time to doing something that would seem like the right thing to do, then they become a little bit conservative, right? And it's just kind of weird to me that, okay, well, you want to take a while to put through $2,000, right? So you agree, to $600, right? Next thing you know, Trump doesn't like that. He fights for that, right? And now all of a sudden, because Trump's vetoing this stuff, now all of a sudden she's saying, "Oh, I'm on board with the 2K. I'm on board with 2,000." Now you see why
Her
this is the
demeanor
case.
changed about it.
Well, here's the thing. In this case, as a slight left liberal, as much as I can't stand Trump, I'll be honest, I can't stand Trump. I will take Trump's side on this. This is how fair of a person I am, right? In this case, Trump is right? Trump is right. The liberals are wrong, right? So, but now because Trump, vetoing this thing and all this craziness happening around this, now, Pelosi and everyone else is trying to, okay, we agree with this. Now we all of a sudden agree with this. Let's make this happen. We can't hold this back anymore. People are hurting, right? Does that make sense much? Why can't we just get along initially and work together and get this done right the first time rather than play games, play the left versus right game, and prolong things that are going to harm our society more than help us? Like, what do you think?
Yeah, it took Congress how long? They started the House actually started getting along there after a while, and it took them a while, but then it's like this one wants it this way, this one wants it that way. Then when they do come up with a plan, it's like when it goes up to the higher, up to the next step, it's like, no, we don't want it this way, change this, change that, and then it's like you're back at square one. Right.
It's funny. Speaking of Congress, which consists of the House and the Senate, right? That I wanted one more thing to talk about. This new CASE Act that is going to be huge for small creators that have had their copyright violated. Not only out here on YouTube, but any other social media platform or anywhere in general, because
even in places, I've seen people copyright other people's clothing lines or products from, and it's like they're not big enough to afford to go into big claim courts with it. It's sad.
Well, like I've been saying, I talked about this last night on my stream, because that's what this millennial guy has been doing to me. He's been using my copyrighted material, claiming it's fair use when it's not. He uses too much of it. And whenever I would file a copyright on him or anyone else in that same community for using my content, they would file a counter notification, and then YouTube comes back at me and says, you now have 10 business days to file a lawsuit, or we're going to reinstate the content on his channel and remove the copyright strike, right? And the only way you used to be able to sue someone was through a federal copyright court, which cost tens of thousands, if not hundreds of thousands of dollars, right? So these guys were playing the game, the flaw in copyright law, because they knew a small creator like me wasn't going to sue them. So all they had to do was file a counter notification, right? And in 10 business days, which is typically about 2 weeks, including weekends, their content would be restored, and they would be, in essence, they were allowed to get away with stealing your content, right? So we had no protection as small creators. Now, this CASE Act, I'm mentioning this because there's somebody that made a comment on my channel that I deleted because I figured it was a troll, right? It probably was a troll, but this is what they said. They said that, the CASE Act has not passed. It passed the House, but not the Senate. And no, that is not what happened. I had the article. I did a whole stream on this, and you can go check out the article. Okay. As a matter of fact, I'm not going to put it on the screen, but I'm going to read the first part here. Okay. Because what ended up happening was last year in 2019, the CASE Act passed the House, but it still needed to pass the Senate, right? Let me read the first line here of the CASE Act that was enacted, I believe it was December 21st, okay? After 10 years of haggling, Congress officially passed the Copyright Alternative and Small Claims Enforcement Act. Sir, you are trolling. You said that the CASE Act passed the House, but not the Senate. This article says Congress officially passed the Copyright Alternative and Small Claims Enforcement Act, the CASE Act. Congress includes the House and the Senate, unless I've lost a few marbles. Congress includes.
If I remember history class right, Congress is both House and Senate.
Right. Congress is the House and the Senate. They both had to agree to it before it could be passed.
Yep.
But see, this is what some of these people do. These trolls or these a lot of these right-wing extremists, right? That feel they have the right to come out on a platform like YouTube and use your content in any way, shape, or form, and claim it's fair use no matter how much of it that they use, right? A lot of these people don't like this law because they're no longer going to be able to get away with the flaw in copyright law and get away with stealing other people's content to make a name for themselves at someone else's expense. For me, this was the most glorious thing that could happen to someone like myself or anyone that's a good law-abiding person that creates original content and is not dependent on, well, let's say using instead of stealing to be nice, using other people's content, claiming it fair use whether it be or not to make a name for themselves, right? So Congress officially passed this. That means the House and the Senate were on board, and this is coming to the U.S. here early on in 2021. Let me ask you a question, Mutt, before we wrap this up here. Okay, what are your thoughts about this new CASE Act here? Like, do you think it's a great thing? Are you thrilled by it? What are your thoughts?
I really think it's going to be a great thing for all these smaller people who can't afford tens of thousands of dollars to sue someone over someone stealing their intellectual property, or stealing their design. It'd be like someone who makes candles going and taking the label of someone's candle and putting it on a candle they've made, saying that totally different, maybe fragrance or whatever, but using the same design. But I think it's going to be good for a lot of the people. They can, they'll be able to more afford to be able to sue people over their them stealing their property.
So, Mutt, you know that guy I was talking about last night, that other YouTuber, that millennial guy that has over 100 videos of mine on his main channel, another 40 plus,
yeah,
right?
That's why I said I had to get my drink and my snack ready for that story last night, because I knew it was going to be interesting.
Yeah, well, yeah, you knew where I was kind of going with it because you know a lot of the backstory. But here's the thing. Here's the thing. This is why 2021 is going to be an incredible year for people that are, good, trustworthy, people that, have good intentions and have the right head and heart. Their head and heart's in the right place, right? For me, this guy in 2021, he probably does not believe me. I'm like, dude, I would remove all that content now, because the bottom line is that once that copyright court opens, the first day it opens, the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to file a copyright on every single one of your videos where you use my material that I feel is not fair use. Mm-hmm. So I'm gonna be literally filing at least 40 or 50, DMCA copyright takedown notices. What is he going to do? He's going to file a counter notification to save his channel from being terminated on every one. What am I going to do when I get those counters? I'm going to sue him for each one for $15,000.
You would think, you would think even after the first one, you suing him on the first one, that he would get the gist and take everything, go.
And that's all I want.
His ass
you got to understand, Mutt. This guy, along with some other people, and that former drama community I was involved with, which primarily consisted of,
for some reason,
which primarily consisted of right-wing Caucasian conservative extremist men, right? Mm-hmm. That feel they have the right to use your content in any way possible. They feel they have the right to spew hate as part of their freedom of speech. Like, this is the worst group of people I've ever encountered in my life, right? They were exploiting that flaw in copyright law, and now, because of this new Case Act, it's going to stop them dead in their tracks. And all I want is, hey, I don't even want any money from this guy. I just want him to remove all my content and to just stop talking about me, and his problems go away. If he doesn't do that, this new Case Act is going to pretty much bankrupt the guy. Because, look, what he doesn't realize is this. I can even sue him for videos that he no longer has up. I can sue him for past simulcasted streams that he's done that I've screen recorded on my iPhone. I got so much evidence on this guy. And here's the thing, Mutt. This is what the new rule is going to be. You're able to file a case per case, $30,000 per case, maximum $15,000 per infraction. Now, here's the thing. So one instance of copyright would be one video, for example, right? You can sue up to $15,000 for one video. If I wanted to sue him for 2 videos, $30,000, or 6 videos for a total of $30,000, $15,000 max per each, right? Well, it'd be $15,000 max per each, right? So let's say there's 6 videos, and I want to sue him for, $5,000 each video. That's a total of $30,000. That's what the lawsuit would be for, right? Okay. Mm-hmm. Now, this guy's not a rich guy. He's doing okay, making okay money, but a $30,000 hit would really hurt this guy right now, especially having a new home mortgage and car payments and other expenses, right? So all I want is for him and other people to stop abusing the copyright system and exploiting that former flaw in copyright law that no longer exists, and just go away. If he could just go away, this wouldn't happen. All he has to do is delete all his stuff, and it's over. Stop talking about me, remove all the memes, stop using my intellectual property, my likeness, my name, my brand, my videos, and we're done. Right? But
Yep.
hey, if he doesn't learn his lesson by the time this courthouse opens, and he thinks I'm full of it, right? No, I'm not. I'm waiting for the day where that court opens to file on all of your channels. No joke, Mutt. I'm not kidding here. I will take down all his channels.
I don't blame you.
And here's the thing:
You've been going
what he
through
doesn't
it
realize,
for-
what he doesn't realize, and what these people don't realize is that 3 strikes and you're out, right? I'll take down his channels for violating my copyright. He's going to file counter notifications, and when I file those lawsuits in the new small claims copyright court, and I send to YouTube, here, YouTube, you gave me 10 days now to file a lawsuit. Here's a lawsuit on all 3 of these videos. So now you cannot reinstate his terminated channel because I filed that lawsuit. Now, his channel will be taken down and the rest of them, right? But that's only the beginning. The next thing is now let's go to court, buddy, and prove to the judge that you didn't steal my content. I'm suing you for $30,000 right now. Right? Now, in the past, I made some threats on some lawsuits. And you know what? Some of them may still be pending and some of them may not be. The bottom line is this. This case act, this small claims copyright court is no joke. I will use this. It's simple. It costs $100 minimum to $350 maximum per case. That means the most it will cost me to file one case up to $30,000 of restitution, $350. $100 to $350 for this small claims copyright court to hear my case and to award me up to $30,000. Right? Whereas in the past, a federal lawsuit could cost you hundreds of thousands. They say the average, I read online, the average federal copyright case costs $400,000 between court fees and attorneys, right? And if you're going to go in front of the federal, judge in a federal courthouse, you're going to go there with an attorney. You're not going there by yourself. With the small claims copyright court, you can represent yourself just like you do in regular small claims court, and boom, you resolve your issue. So, Mutt, your final thoughts on that, and then any other final thoughts, and we're going to wrap these up. I'm gonna have you come up the StreamYard, and I'm going to wrap this up full screen on myself here in a
That's
second.
all I have. I really don't have any other thoughts about it.
Well, Mutt, I want to thank you for being here. Before you go, I really want to
You're
say,
very, very welcome.
I really want to say honestly, like, you are one of the most consistent people I've met in my life, especially out here on YouTube. You're very loyal, you're very kind, you're very considerate, and it's very rare to come across people like you, and I really want to acknowledge that and express that and put it out there publicly because, it's not easy finding not only good people to work with nowadays, but good, loyal, consistent people like yourself, and I greatly value that, and I appreciate that, Mutt. And in 2021, I look forward to working much more closely with you, doing more live streams. If you do go live later tonight in a few hours or so, I'll be able to make it. I am going to
it's not going to be a panel stream, though. I'm just going to go to my first live of the new year.
Okay, no worries. I am going to be having some dinner with my family in a bit, and then I'll come back and I'll be around a couple of hours. But yeah, folks, subscribe to Mutt Nuts World, subscribe to WrestleMania, subscribe to the rest of the channels that you see in the chat. You're going to have to do a search for them because YouTube doesn't allow you to
I wish they would give us that back.
Yeah, maybe they will at some point, or maybe at least they'll give moderators or channel owners access to that because we need to see, who we can moderate or not. There are a lot of people duplicating channels, and we don't want to moderate the wrong people that we need.
The channel owner and the channel owner's moderators. Right. I don't think it should be available to anybody else. If you're not, and it should only be if you're in that live stream. That's the only time you can do that. You can't just do it anywhere. You have to either be the channel owner or a moderator.
Right. I think the reason why they got rid of it, Mud, is because there was a lot of sub for sub going on, all these growth streams, and people were getting. There are a lot of people that qualified for monetization that really didn't deserve it, to be honest with you, and they're
Because they
not
didn't do it the right way.
right, and they're not what YouTube is looking at, for their monetization program. I mean, there are some channels out here that, with no disrespect, there are some people that are just doing this as a hobby. And while their content may not, be offensive or may not be violating guidelines or ad-friendly guidelines, community guidelines, or copyright, it's not the type of content that would get the traction. It's not the type of content that advertisers would want to put their ads on because they want to be able to target the right audience. Clifford Starks is in the house. Happy New Year, peeps. Clifford, we're about to get out of here, but in the new year, Clifford, we got to get together, get you on some panels. We had a great show, great New Year's Day show today with some of the moderators here on the channel. Talked about a bunch of things. We were going to do this last night, but there were some issues. I got them resolved, and we did it today instead. But Mutt, thank you so much for being here, girl. I'll catch you later on this evening, and have yourself a great night. All right, Mutt?
All right. Bye, everybody.
Bye. Okay, Mutt's going backstage. And we're going to move on back to full screen here and start wrapping this up. All right, folks. Not a whole lot of people on the Facebook side of things today. I guess people are busy, but hey, just got to keep putting it out there. We've actually got 16 people here on the show, and we've had quite a few people on this stream today. We've got, well over 100 playbacks. I show 151 views right now. Glad to see you both, says Clifford Starks. Folks, just to wrap this up, 2020 was a year unlike anything we've ever seen before. We've been dealing with this pandemic. We had a new president elected in the office. We've had our current president that was a big sore loser. Because he didn't get reelected. That created a lot of issues. We've had some other crazy things happen. What was it? The George Floyd thing, and we've also had the recent bombing, and just so many things happened that should have never happened. And in 2021, I'm going to vow to do whatever I can to make this world a better place and to start bringing people together despite their views, despite our differences, because together, we will all accomplish more and we'll get somewhere. I think it's time to stop the fighting, to stop the hate, stop the attacks. I know it's hard for some people to stop all the negativity because it's what makes them feel better, because that's how they perceive their life to be. To those of you out there that are unhappy deep within and you're living in a state of misery, and because of that, you're projecting that on other people and that's how you're treating them, I really would love to help you if possible in 2021. I know I can't help anyone unless they're open to the help. But that's where my head and my heart is. I really want to help these people because those are the people that need the most help. And again, if we, instead of fighting amongst each other, start working together and start collaborating, joining forces, we can accomplish whatever we want to accomplish and truly make this world a better place. I honestly feel the reason why we haven't even vaccinated 20 million people already, such as President Trump's Operation Warp Speed promise by this point, is because we've been spending more time fighting. Our president's been spending more time golfing than actually doing something about this. And that's just ridiculous, right? How are we going to get somewhere and keep our promises and fix the issues we have if we don't all work together. That's just what I want you folks to think about. But in 2021, I'm going to do my part and do whatever it takes to make this world a better place, to, make it peaceful and maintain the peace. Well said, my brother, says Clifford Starks. Clifford, thank you so much for being here, bro. Happy New Year to you and your family. WrestleMania, thank you for being here. Thank you to Queen Rosie Ren Nation for being here earlier. Thank you to Mutt Nuts World Queen, and to also Phoenix Fire for being on the panel. And thank you to everyone else behind the scenes that was watching on Facebook and on YouTube as well. Folks, if you want to collaborate on a project in 2021, please, if you're on the YouTube side of things, go below in the description, or even on Facebook, it's there as well. Go find my email, Coach Eli at coach.eliasmelas.com. Send me an email. Let me know how you'd like to work together, and we can definitely make it happen. I'm looking to interview people live on the air, or collaborate on some videos, or work on some social media projects together. What I am not looking for is to join any businesses or opportunities. So if you're going to reach out to me to try to get me into your network marketing business or try to sell me something or whatever, I'm not interested in that at this time. What I'm interested in is collaborating with you and helping you spread the word of your message and working together to help other people, get a better grip on their life and help them in any way possible. With that being said, have yourselves a great day. Happy New Year, everyone. 2021 is here. Let's make it the best. And I'll see you all next time. Take care. Bye. Bye.